clearly indicates that Drona and Dara are the eternal father and mother of Krishna. Because they're saying, let us appear so that Krishna will also appear. As soon as they appear, Krishna must also appear. Wherever there is a necessity of Krishna's appearance, Drona and Dara appear first, and then Krishna appears. So when Krishna or Ramchandra appear, they apparently take birth from ordinary parents. That's not true of all of Krishna's incarnations. Just like Lord Varaha, he appears from Brahma's nose. God has a sense of humor. He's not stodgy. You know, he definitely has a sense of humor. He would be born from your nose. What about the Singadev? He's born from a pillar. It's also a pretty sense of humor. And Matsya just appears in the water. That's also sort of humorous. And Kurma just also appears in the ocean. But when Krishna and Ram appear, they have a apparently human mother and father. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, so one may think then, oh, his birth is ordinary. So Prabhupada says, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that his birth is not ordinary. Janma karma chane divyam. What chapter is that in? Fourth chapter. And that's right after Krishna is explaining what?
He's spoken this before?
Mm-hmm. And that's right after he says, Yada yada hidharmasya and Pritranaya sadhana. Ajo pisyan avyayatma bhutanam isharo pisan prakritin swam adistaya sambhavam apmamaya. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Bhagavad Gita 4:6. Before Krishna's appearance, Drona and Dara appear in order to become his father and mother. It is they who appear as Nanda Maharaj and his wife Yasoda. In other words, it's not possible for a sadhana siddha living being to become the father or mother of Krishna. Krishna's father and mother are already designated. So we discussed this the other day, on Friday. That each of us have our eternal role. I can't become somebody else. I am who I am. I can't say I'm going to become Lalita, or I'm going to become Subala, I'm going to become Yasoda. It is they who appear as but by following the principles exhibited by Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda and their associates, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, ordinary living beings, may attain such affection as exhibited by Nanda and Yasoda. So, if somebody wants to develop affection in the parental mood, they follow the mood of Nanda and Yasoda. And one shouldn't think, well, that's not going to be good enough. You know, Nanda and Yasoda, they get everything, and I'm just going to be one of the associates. Not like that. Not like that. So Krishna has this, the affection between all of those in parental ras with Krishna is perfect. It's not that one person gets something more than another. Everybody gets exactly what they desire in their relationship with Krishna. When Drona, and we talked about that the other day, how to achieve that once one is awakened, right? We were talking about that the other day, everybody remember? Way back when on Friday. That once one is awakened, that if awakened means that those sentiments will be awakened, that somebody will naturally start to feel, oh, I want to love Krishna as my child. And then one meditates on the pastimes, Prabhupada says one meditates on Mother Yasoda churning butter, or one meditates on any of these pastimes of Nanda and Yasoda to try to follow in their footsteps. So when Drona and Dara were requested to beget children, they chose to come to this world to have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as their son, Krishna. Krishna's appearance means Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Tajuskritam. Prabhupada's quoting a lot from chapter 4. The devotees are protected and the miscreants are vanquished. Whenever Krishna comes, he distributes the highest goal of life, devotional service. He appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the same purpose, because unless one comes to devotional service, one cannot be delivered from the miseries of the material world, Dukhalayam Shashvatam, where the living beings struggle for existence. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 15:7, Mamai Vamso Jivaloke Jivabuddha Sanatana Mana Shastranindriyani Prakriti Stani Karshati, struggle. And this Prakriti with this nature. Mana, Shastra, and Indriyani with the senses and the mind. The living entities in this conditional world are like eternal fragmental parts. Because of conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. The living entities are struggling to become happy. But unless they take to the bhakti cult, their happiness is not possible. Krishna clearly says, Ashradayana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapyamam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Hartmani. Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service cannot attain the conqueror foes, but return to birth and death in this material world. Foolish persons, so now somebody may ask, well, it's not so bad here. What do you mean it's all miserable? What do you mean we can't become happy without bhakti? I'm happy. I have my, mango milkshake, BMW, my prestigious job, the Sony shop on Tottenham Court Road, my fancy hairstyle, I'm not happy. My pretty girlfriend, with heels so high she's going to fall on her nose. I'm happy. What do you mean I can't be happy without bhakti? No problem. It says, foolish persons. Sorry, I walked through London. On my way to get a ride to the funeral. That's interesting contrast, walking through London on your way to a funeral. Foolish persons do not know how risky life is here if one does not follow the instructions of Krishna. The Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, has been started so that by practicing Krishna consciousness, one can avoid the risky life of this material existence. Now, Prabhupada says something really funny here. There's no question of accepting or not accepting Krishna consciousness. It is not optional, it is compulsory. It's obviously funny because a lot of people don't accept Krishna consciousness. Right? If we do not take to Krishna consciousness, our life is very risky. So this reminds me of once I got a new student in the Gurukula. He was about 10 or so. And he sat down in the japa circle. He obviously had some difficult experience elsewhere. He sat down and he would just sit like this. And I said, I'm not going to say his name. Krishna does. I have to chant. I don't want to chant. Went on for a few days. One day he said, I don't have to chant. I said, no, you don't have to chant. You can take birth after birth in the material world if you want to. So if you want to be happy, you do have to chant. So I just started chanting. If we do not take to Krishna consciousness, our life is very risky. Everything is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, to learn how to become free from this miserable condition of material existence, Bhagavad Gita as it is the preliminary study. Oh, this is interesting. Now Prabhupada's giving the order of reading the books. If one wants to learn how to become free from the miserable condition of material existence, Bhagavad Gita as it is the preliminary study. Then if one understands Bhagavad Gita, one can proceed to Srimad Bhagavatam. And if one advances further, one may study Chaitanya Charitamrita. That doesn't mean that you can't attend the morning Bhagavatam classes until you finish studying Bhagavad Gita. It's okay, or you can't attend that. But we have Chaitanya Charitamrita on Saturday. Doesn't mean you can't attend the Saturday class until you finish studying Bhagavatam. We used to distribute Chaitanya Charitamritas in the airports. We probably first produced them because each book, like we're now working on this book project, if you don't print a large number of books, you get a very bad price for printing. The more books you print, the lower your cost is. So you're printing 10,000 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita Anchalila. You got to sell them. There weren't 10,000 devotees. And anyway, we each weren't going to buy one. We were just living in the temple. We didn't have any money. Who was going to buy the 10,000 copies? So we had to go out of the airports and sell them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was speaking to Ramananda Roy, volume. And Anchalila, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in deep ecstasies. And we're selling that to the airport to ordinary people. What to speak of not reading Bhagavad Gita, and not even following the regular person.